Hey guys, this is David from Team Corp again, coming to you with the second video ever of my new channel. Shout out to Team Corp, of course, check them out, they're cool peoples. I'm doing, of course, what everyone is probably doing right now is a January prediction of ban lists. Now, I'll tell you where the cutoff point is right now because it's a little jumbled, but I guess let's get started. So, for banned, Return from a Different Dimension. This is like this is the most sackiest card right now in this format, and it just needs to be 86th. If they don't hit any of the dragons, then they need to ban this card because getting return sacked is kind of a thing, and people don't like it. Um, Personally, I love this card and I don't want it to get banned, but from like on a logical standpoint, it needs just to go. Now, here are the cards that need to go to 1. Heavy Storm needs to go to 1 because people are getting too reckless with back row and they just set it really hard, and there's no punishment for it anymore. And people like 3 MSTs is not really a punishment for it. Like being scared of Heavy Storm was kind of like, okay, I need to conserve my stuff, so I think Heavy Storm needs to come back. And I don't mean to start a flame war with my choices, so yeah. Vanity's Emptiness needs to go to 1. The relevance of this card is too much. This card was unheard of before someone actually put it in their deck, and it really did really good. It surprisingly did good. With Lightsworns coming in and being a really popular thing that's gonna become really really popular, this card's gonna just blow up as soon as it has the second two. And as soon as something mills, it's gonna blow up. Now also, it really hinders everyone else's plays, and it's like, oh, this card is such a boner. Because when dragons go emptiness summons and then they go summon starters activate emptiness, you're like, wow, that sucks. So I think this card needs to go to 1 just because it was relevant at one point and now it wasn't relevant at one point. Now it's just suddenly relevant. That's just not right. And plus, it's a game changer, and it's really really stupid. It's just that's kind of bias on me, but nothing in this list is really biased on me. Next, Stratos. Stratos needs to come back. Why was it banned in the first place? You can hit Malicious. I don't care what people say about that, but hit Malicious. Bring this card back. Telly Dad won't come back from the grave. You hit Eradicator to 1. What's Deck Devi gonna do? It's gonna hit. It's gonna hurt like 2 decks. Stratos needs to come back. It does. Heroes need to be relevant again. It was a budget deck that was really really good, and now they're not relevant anymore because Stratos is gone, and that budget deck that everyone liked to play is just gone, and that made no sense to anyone else why that deck was just gone. That got hit, and it needed did. There's no reason to. No, Melissa went to 3, but still, come on. Mermail Abyss TS needs to go to 1 because of this reason. If they hit the dragons, Mermails are going to bulldoze the format. They need to slow it down. This is their fastest card. It's their most plus heavy card. Megalo is good, yeah. Megalo's great. This card's better than Megalo because all you have to do is discard 1 water, and then you search a level 4 or lower Mermail monster from your deck and add it to your hand. That's a little too good. And it's level 7 water. That's a little too good. So that needs to be hit to 1. Now, also to 1. This is going to make people go insane. Wind Up Carrier Zen Matey. I believe this card needs to come back. Why? Because wind-ups don't do anything. And if they got this card back, they wouldn't do anything. What would they possibly do? They wouldn't gain a loop back. They'd summon the magician back. They'd find an OTK. Yeah, probably. But they wouldn't come back to power. They'd be really popular, and they'd be like, everyone's going to be like, no, that deck sucks. Because if they don't hit this card, they're just going to set this card turn 1, activate it on Zen Matey's effect. They're going to be like, oh, sorry, that sucks. Or Mirror Force is a thing, Torrential's gonna a thing, it's just Zen Matey won't prove a real big problem. Mega Phantom Beast Drago Sack. Like I said, it's one of those conditional things. I keep saying this, but it's true. If they don't hit the dragons, this card needs to get hit to 1. They go into it very easily, and it's a super sacky card. Yeah, there's answers for it now. But with Compulsant 1, it's not, and with Compulsant 1, So this card needs to get hit to 1. They can't ban Big Eye because Big Eye's getting reprinted. So yeah. Trish to 1. We need a power synchro. We need one of those power synchros back. Yeah, plant dragons are going to go bonkers with this card. They're going to be like, yay, new card. A lot of decks are going to go super duper crazy with this card, but it needs to come back because we need a power synchro if they're going to, promote the new plant support and all that stuff, and it needs to come back. Personally, I don't like Trish, but I think logically it needs to come back, and, you can make your rebuttal, and I mean, it's fine. Rebuttals are rebuttal. Now, my friend's going to hate me for this, but Dragon Ravine needs to get hit. To 2. Not to 1, but to 2. because it sets up plays way too easily at the cost of what? Discarding a dragon? Usually they play this in dragons, or you discard a phalanx and you just set up a play instantaneously. It's a combo setter for a deck that just needs to die, to be honest with you, but it will never die because they have a purpose. Um Now Ophion was kind of teetering on 1 or 2, but I think 2 is fine. The card does not really need to get hit. They run 3 of them. This card is an issue to synchro decks, and if they want to promote synchros, this card needs to just get hit just once, just a 2, and just leave it alone. I know it's kind of a stupid reason to, but it just needs to go. Bestiari needs to go to 2. Holy crap, this card needs to go to 2. There's no reason why this card's not at 2 yet. They're getting support in a later set, so why isn't this card at 2? This card must go at 2. That's my opinion. This card needs to go at 2. I swear to God. Torrential to 2. If Mermills come back in a blazing rampage, same thing with Fire Fist and everything like that, Torrential needs to be there to stop them. Torrential's at 1. It was at 2. Yeah, it was doing stuff. Yeah, it was kind of a boner to run into, but it stopped a lot of the power plays, and you can just set Torrentials against each other, and it was fine. It's just like this card, no reason why it need to go to 2, because too many power plays are happening without punishment. Bujingi Crane. Having 7 Honest now, on DN, Bujins have 7 Honests. Something around those. Yeah, 7 Honests. Yeah, though, that's just stupid. This card needs to get hit. It's their most broken card known to mankind. It's so good. It's just too good. It just doubles the attack. Boom, double the attack. It's really too good. I know Bujin players are going to be like, no, it doesn't need to get hit. No, this card needs to get hit. I'm not saying Yamato needs to get hit, not Asadura, not anything else, but just this card. Let's do an Exceed real quick. Constellium Omega. 2. Why? Most of them don't even run 3, and if they do, this card is an annoyance. I didn't say Pallades because that deck needs Pallades to be able to do something in this format. So I think this card needs to go to 2. No offense to Constellar players, but this card is kind of a boner killer. It protects itself too well. I mean, yeah. Macrocosmos needs to go to 2. Why was this card set to 1? To promote the decks that are heavy on graveyard. But if you hit the dragons and you don't hit the mermaids, or you don't hit this but you don't hit the dragons, graveyard decks are just going to be fine. They're going to be like, whatever. Yeah, that needs to at least come back to 2. I'm not saying D-Fissure, because D-Fissure is a little better against certain decks than Macrocosmos. Macrocosmos, people say it stops the game. It just ends the game state, you win. No. Stop being stupid. It's not that hard of a card to get around. Stop being a prima donna about it. Just let it go. Abyssphere. If TS doesn't get hit to 1, this card needs to get hit, because it's way too abusable. It's so abusable. It's MST it. If you blind MST it, okay, free monster. If you attack, free Linde. If you don't kill it, okay, I'm just going to get a Mermail anyway. It needs to get hit. Just to 2. Pandemic needs to get hit to 2. This card makes them so... How do you say it? Invincible. Along with the Safe Zone and the Key Beetle, this card is just adding on to the amount of salt it's digging into people. So it needs to get hit to 2. It needs to be dulled down a little bit. I have nothing against any of these decks. It's just this card needs to get hit. All the dragons to 2. If you hit them to 1, they will not serve their purpose and they're dead. That means they reprinted them for nothing. If you hit them to 2, you can put them in decks that the purpose that they were made for, the elemental ones, the purpose that they were made for is still relevant, and they're not stupid broken anymore. If you keep them to 3, I'll be fine with that. I don't really care. But these cards do need to get hit to 2, in a lot of people's opinion, because you still want them to serve the purpose that they were made for, but not become a deck and destroy. Now, cards to 3. Debris Dragon. If you're going to promote the new plants, you need to make Debris Dragon back to 3. I like Debris Dragon at 3. It sounds like a good idea. It may be a little out there, but it sounds like a good idea. Mirror Force to 3. If you're going to bring back decks like, Windups and Gladiator Beasts, you got to bring back the Mirror Force to 3 so you can stop them from, completely going off on you. So that's a good thing. Plague Spreader to 3. Why was this card at 2 in the first place? Okay, this card's at 2 right now, and it's doing nothing. It's doing nothing at all. There's not even room in certain decks to make this card even at 2. So why are... Exactly. So it's like people are freaking out over nothing. Thunder King Ryo to 3. This card should have never been at 1. This card should be at 3. If they don't hit this card, if they don't bring this card back up to 3, I won't mind. It's a suggestion that I'm putting out there that just, it kind of needs just to be back. Because it hinders decks. Like, if this came back, if that doesn't get hit, if that doesn't get hit, and if that comes back, if windups come back, this card will be there to be like, just no. Now, there's one card that would have gotten on my list to come back to 1, but it starts a flame war, and I don't want to deal with it. Gateway. Gateway, I think, should come back, but then it shouldn't come back. It's a skillless card. It's a scrubby card that just you play and you win, and I don't like that. Same thing with this card. Kind of like this card. Not anything else on this list. This card is just like, play it, game. And that's just not how Yu-Gi-Oh! Should be played. So, comment, like, and subscribe. Shout out to Team Capricorp. Check them out definitely, and I will bring you another video to you guys very soon. Oh, sorry. Goodbye. And stop. And stop.